Hey Metagamers, it's GaryG69, and I'm going to be giving you a detailed tutorial on how to play a meta vanilla Hoi 4 multiplayer Italy. Okay, so with your army, basically at the start of the game you're at war with Ethiopia. So you want to organize your army how I just did it. And you're going to have 4 and 4. You want these guys to be in this army. You want your general in Africa to be Giovanni Messi. He is your best general by far. Your second general will be this man, and your field marshal will be Rodolfo Ghisani. And what you want to do at the start of the game with Ethiopia, which I already showed you, is that, but those are your generals you want to hire. These are the best generals you start out with. Now with air, you want to just literally disband all your planes, besides the one in Africa. The ones in Africa, you're just going to want to leave up, except for the bombers. You don't care about the bombers. Because the only reason you do that, because if you go around Ethiopia, you can get around 15 air XP. Next, your fleet, you're just want to merge your entire fleet by doing just clicking all the ships, but not click the ones on the left. You press G, and now they're all going to merge. So a really tricky part is to do the admirals. This guy's kind of your best admiral right here. He's just a level 3. This guy's good as well, but this one has a buff positioning. Just the biggest debuff is the minus 20 AA, which if you just want to bite the bullet, you can. Because you're going to have a lot of planes up, and so will they. So it's really up to you. This guy's a good armor, good guy. He has a good attack. He has a better attack stat, except it's just he doesn't have the spotting speed, which isn't the end of the world. This guy's really not worth it. This man's not worth it either. But this guy, if you want to kind of grind out your navy, he'll have really bad defense, except he doesn't have any debuffs. But he has all the buffs your top guy has, besides capital armor attack. For this tutorial, you're going to go with Admiral Indingo, and that is it for your entire Army, Navy, and Air Force. Okay, now we're going to do political, and I'm going to show you the order of what to do. So you're going to do free trade. Next, you're going to do war economy. Third, you're going to do Luigi Unati. Fourth, you're going to do industrial return. Fifth, you're going to do light aircraft designer. Sixth, you're going to do war industrialist. And seventh, you're going to do artillery designer. And once you have all those, you're going to go on to your military and hire them in this order. Infantry, you're going to go over to the Navy and you're going to do decisive battle. Then you're going to go over to capital ships, hire this guy, and this guy. And then lastly, you hire the army guy. And once you have that, you can go and do improved working conditions. Okay, so now that we're on to construction, I'm going to show you what to do with your factories, and after that, I'm going to show you production. But what you're going to do is you're going to build 80 infrastructure states only. So once you do concentrated industry, you're going to get more slots and build in those. And once you get to the end of 37, you're going to convert to synths and only build synths for the next 7 months. And once you get to the middle of 38, you're going to convert to mills. And if you want, you could build a few dockyards, but it's really not going to be that important. And also, as Italy, you need to remember that you need to support your Germany and yourself in Libya. So you're going to want to build at least a level 5 port here, and your infrastructure will be higher after you develop Libyan infrastructure, but you want to have at least level 5, level 5. You want to build at least level 5 on all these states, because once you do the focus, you get 2 more. So you want to do this before the war starts, which will limit down your economy. Well, in some states, you want to prioritize Eastern Libya. But realistically, like Sirte, you're not really going to need anything there. This is your main construction. You already have a solid port there. You need the infrastructure to support it. And also, you need to max out this airbase. And that's all the development you need to do. Also build level max airports there. Sardinia is up to you. You can either disband it. I highly recommend holding on to it because it gives you the ability to bomb the Western Med. Instead of just the Central and Mediterranean Sea. Those are my recommendations for construction. Okay, so this is what you start out with your construction. So for gun, you want to have about 6-7 factories on it. And for equipment, you want to have 5. You're going to cancel take. You're going to put 1 on motorized. You're going to put 3 on cast for the start of the game. But keep in mind, as the game goes on, you're going to put around 25 factories on plane. And you're also, with the remaining factories, you're going to build anti-tank, and you're going to build anti-air, and artillery. So keep in mind that you want to have a good balance of them. Just something like this. This would work. You'll have anti-tank, anti-air, and artillery. And the thing with artillery is you think you need a lot of it, which you won't necessarily need. You're going to probably need around 4 factories on that, and then maybe 7 factories on anti-tank. And then you're only going to need 5 on for the entire game. So you're going to probably put around 10 to 15 on gas. You're going to put another 10 on fighters, and then 5 on naval launchers. And then for your navy production, when you have the fleet all merged, which I do not yet. Okay, so now with your fleet, you're gonna put all your ships onto your main fleet by clicking this kind of just annoying little process. Okay, so now that's done. you're gonna put 5 factories on all the top ones. So basically, you want to just cancel out these ships, have them all like this. Except you want your ships that would be done faster to be done a lot, to be made sooner. So with your 2 cruisers or your 3 cruisers, you're gonna put them all up here, and bam. Now you cancel these all out. Once they're all canceled, they're only using 1 factory. You should have 5 on cruisers, and they'll be done in May, so it's a month. And then the way it works, it'll prioritize things go down. And the bottom of your production, you're gonna have, once all these ships finish, you're gonna stop making convoys, and you're gonna make destroyer 2s, which you will have to create variants for, and I'll show you that in another segment. This is a quick little note. So with decisions, what you're gonna want to do is that with the current naval production, it's really not going to matter what you do with the naval treaties. The only thing that will matter to you is doing improved war conditions if you want more stability. So let's say after the Ethiopian war finishes, you don't want to do free trade first. You can do improved work conditions. There's no loss in doing it. You lose a little bit of buffs for about another 150 days for 12 stability. So it's really your call to make. And that's the rest of it. Now I'm going to show you off to how to do your focuses and research. The next page I'm going to be showing you is spies. Remember, this is a DLC. But with Italy, you kind of have you are the weakest major in Hearts of Iron. Italy's the weakest major. So making a spy agency is a really tough call to make. But if you do make it, you're not going to invest all your civilian factories at one point into it. You basically want to be passively upgrading it throughout the entire game. Okay, so now that you finish making the operation, you're going to ignore the ciphers because it's too expensive to invest. So where you're going to want to invest is in the top branches. You're going to invest in your defense, and you're also going to invest in interrogation, and you will want to do anti-partisan because this will give you more resistance. And with your spies, the main thing you're going to really need them for is resistance. Or if you have a lot of spies in your country, you could do more counterintelligence with the spies. And those are all the really focuses, and I'll put a timestamp of what order you want to do the focuses in. Okay, so the next thing you want to know with Italy is what divisions to have. So I'm just going to show you the 4 templates that I use. And so the first one I use is my Garrison division. Basically just barraging your coastline with these divisions, and they'll destroy planes as long as and hold their ground. You want to just purge a good amount of these, probably like 40 to 60, depending on how much manpower you can have. Next, you want a 7-2. It's a simple division for attacking. This is going to be your most common attacking division throughout the entire world. And then this is going to be your this is going to be an African division, actually. Basically, this division's intent is not to engage or to actually direct fight, but just to be reinforcing. And with its anti-air, it will just destroy planes. And the last template is the large template, 40 with anti. And it's just, basically this division is just the hold while just piercing the enemy's tanks in Africa. You're probably going to want to have maybe 4 of these guys. They're not going to be that useful for too long. They might also help in Soviet if you win or lose Africa. And they're just going to help your allied Germany a lot. Those are all the divisions you'll need, besides your military police, which they just use for occupation, so occupied territories, and you have capital. And that is literally all you need to know for your soldiers. Alright, so now on to our final segment, be research and national focus. So the first 4 things you will research will be construction, machine tools, synthetic, and electromagnetic engineering. Now the focus you think you would take would be Ethiopian war logistics, except we're not, because we're going to exploit it. But the focus you can take can either be Army Primacy or Mare Nostrum. And personally, I think Mare Nostrum is better because you're not going to be rushing your land doctrine that early on. You're going to wait till you get your 5th research slot, but the 4 dockyards will help you more in the early game than the 2 mills help you in the early game with all the ships they're producing. So that'll be our first focus. And now that focus got bypassed because I just did a little exploit where you lose Eritrea and you lose Somalia. And now I'm just going to kill Ethiopia. Okay, so your next focus that you're going to take is going to be industrial. Okay, so now that your industry is finished, you're not going to do dispersed, you're going to do concentrated industry. So the next focus you're going to go for is industrial effort 2. Okay, so now also, just so you know, once you defeat Ethiopia, you bypass the focus, triumph in Africa. So now the next focus, after the research slot, is going to be claims and use. Next thing you're going to research is going to be naval doctrine. Alright, with your new focus, you're going to go for the extra research slot. Now that oil is done, you're going to research anti-tank. Okay, so with your new research slot, you're going to go back to industry and you're going to start researching construction 2. Your next focus you're going to take is going to be claims on Yugoslavia. Next thing you're going to research is going to be radio, and after that, you're going to now swap to your superior fire doctrine. With that, you're continue down your naval. Okay, now that claims is done, you're going to click join, and you're going to go back to army primacy. Okay, so that anti-tank is done. Logistics, engage research. Let's do new researchers, and basically keep wanting to work down your naval doctrine. Now that radio is finished, you're going to go back to your industry, and you're going to work on concentrated industry. Next thing you're going to research is going to be oil processing. Once you finish superior power, you're basically going to research your doctrine until you're finished with it. With your next focus, you're going to do Italian, you're going to go over and you're going to do Albanian occupation. And also, you need to remember to justify in Yugoslavia. Okay, so your next thing you're going to research is going to be support weapons. Now that you get the focus, now you occupy Albania, you're going to work down around here to Africa. Okay. With oil processing done, you're going to start researching fuel refining. Now that Concentrated 2 is finished, you're going to research Machine Tools 2. So you're going to watch Computing Machine. The next focus you're going to take is prospect for oil. Then the next research, you're going to research your doctrine, you're working down it, and continue working down your naval doctrine. Your next research slot, you're going to over to artillery, and you're going to research improvement into war artillery. Your next focus that you're going to take is going to Libyan refining. With your next research slot, you're going to rush artillery fuel done. You're going to just keep monitoring where you are with research. The next national focus you're going to take is going to be a Libyan. Your focus, you're going to continue down, and you're going to go to the right side. Okay, so now that you have another research slot, you're going to research more of your naval. With your new naval doctrine, or new naval... Oh my god! With your new research slot, you're going to go over to naval, and you're going to research torpedo 2s. Right here. So the next focus that you're kind of going to do, it's all going to be in this part of the ballpark. So it really just depends where you're going. So you might want to do like something like this, or you could do befriend Bulgaria and go down this sector and get trade treaties and just more research bonuses. So for right now, we're gonna go this way because this side is a little bit better. Next thing you're gonna research is going to be support weapons 2. Okay, with your next research slot, with the 50 XP you have, you're gonna research magnetic detonator for this 20% more torpedo attack. The next focus you're going to take is going to be Pact of Steel. You're going to rush Recon 2 because you have the research. The next focus you're going to take is going to be trade with Germany, but you're denied to join the Axis. So with your next 2 research slots, you're going to research new guns. The next thing you're going to research is going to be industry and concentrated 3. Now with the recon done, you're going to go back over to industry and just work on construction. Next focus is going to be German military cooperation. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to go over to improved oil processing and research, or fuel refining 3 and research ahead of that. Your next focus that you're going to take is going to be war with Greece. So then your next 2 things that you're going to research is going to be advancement. And with construction done, you're going to go back to your military doctrine and continue it. Okay, so now that you're on your next research slot, you're going to research engineer company 2. Now that war with Greece is done, you're going to do secret weapons. The next thing you're going to research is this, you're going to keep on working on your doctrine. This is the last 2 things I'm going to show you how to research, but you're going to research oil and rubber. And basically with the oil research, you're going to want to just update your technology, like for instance your guns. You want to keep up to date with your guns, keep up to date with your artillery. Air is not too important, just make sure to upgrade your CAS and naval bombers. Industry, you need to keep a good advantage on it, and so you do on engineering. Also finish your naval doctrine, but you don't need to worry too much about this side, unless you're late in the game you still have torpedoes. But besides that, there's not a whole lot to do. Remember to max out your army doctrine as well. And there's a few Navy technologies that you might want to research, such as these 3 right here. They'll just give you some more attack buffs, or little defense buffs right here. That's about the remainder. Besides your focuses, your focus tree is basically finished. You're not going to want to do anything over here. There's nothing that will greatly benefit you. All these research, they're not important. You could try to get a buff on destroyer models, which is a little research bonus, but at the end of the day, it won't really matter. So what I'm going to do if I was going to play in this game right now is I would either do army training, construction engineering, air production, or naval production. I'll do one of those 4. But I'd only do construction engineering if I'm building the infrastructure and port for Africa. But besides that, no, you're not going to need anything from construction engineering. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative, and you agree with the meta strategies. I'd request for you to hit the like button because that would help me a lot. And I want you guys to have a good night, and thank you for watching the video.